see if this is working now. Did you call this 11.1?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not a fool.
I think we're good. I guess everyone has to migrate into the new chat though.
Yeah.
That's a pain.
Our internet is a pain. Can we like not have Comcast?
I really need to follow up with them on some, but it's been a while since. The problem is like our issues with the internet, I feel like, only become extremely apparent when we record podcasts. It's like I feel like otherwise we just have like, oh, this stream's a little bad. We haven't had like issues streaming TV in a long time. Did at one point.
We have, yeah.
I mean, like issues like the handmade. There's some show, I guess it was American Gods, where like it would pause every minute. I think that was a problem with the app, not our internet.
Possibly.
There's no like, it's weird that it was limited to just that.
Just
seven watching
other
stars
things recently like that though. So hey, how many of the humans are scary? Lots of them? Oh man, there's no options. I just have to say they're all nice. No man, no.
No, it said there are lots of nice people, which doesn't contradict the point. It doesn't actually contradict the point.
Way to look on the... Hey, our internet is silly, like silly pants. It's not even raining or anything.
No, it's not the internet. Okay, we should caution that like when we talk about like the weather in relation to our internet, that should not be a thing. It sounds like we're just being like hocus pocus conspiratorial, or like what's the word I'm looking for? People believe superstitious. That's what I'm looking for.
Hocus pocus.
Hocus pocusy. But it does totally correlate with that, and it really shouldn't. But there's probably something wrong with our wiring or something. But that's not the issue. The issue, I don't.
What is the issue?
I mean, the issue, like whenever we use the PS4, we have a Ethernet cable plugged in to the back, and periodically when using the PS4, we just get a message that says like LAN cable not connected, and it's like what? And then like a second later, it's like okay, connected, and I'm like, the cable has not moved. So like it might be a problem with the cable. It might be a problem with our internet in general. It might be a problem with the acceptance of that cable. Like we never physically move it.
I really think that the wind actually affects things. Like on windy days,
the wind affects the internet, so it's not related in regard to the cable. It's just in regards to something. Like if we remove the cable and just use Wi-Fi, would that help? I feel like probably not.
It's just annoying because YouTube is silly and doesn't automatically stop broadcasting.
Yeah, we have to basically like, in addition to having to kill the old stream and start a new stream, we have to like manually go into an interface and be like, no, the old stream is not going anymore. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, I wish you could just like reconnect to the...
Yeah.
It sounds complicated though. I could understand why you wouldn't be. Earlier today, recording with Asher, his internet was the issue, I think. But then there were also times where it seemed like he did not hear what I said at all, so that'll be fun. I'll have a lot of fun editing that in my noob editing state. I'm just holding my hand up like this for hours, apparently. That's what the game just told me. Okay, it's just being jokey. 100 years later. Maybe I should try something else. Nah, I think that's actually a good metaphor for how the internet works. I can only connect jump if I'm disappointed. I don't care, Kyoko. Blah 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 blah. In other words, when you can, and when you can't, you can't. Sometimes I want to strangle this game.
Okay.
Only sometimes.
This is not healthy.
What?
Does not sound healthy.
Cool, I'm not a healthy person.
I'm a sleepy person.
sleepy?
I slept until like 2 p.m.
You slept until 2. Yeah, it's 4.
I'm sleepy again then.
When did you go to sleep?
Let's not talk about it.
Let's not talk about it. Jeffrey. Jeffrey was all like, when are you recording your podcast? And I was like, what are you talking about? I already did it when you woke up. He was like, what? I don't understand. Jeff doesn't understand how time works. Oh god, this is a terrible team to fight Tentomon. Okay, at least Tentomon's weak and I'm not. Woo! Oops, I should have Digivolved Cinnamon. Boo. Oop, and now I gotta Digivolve Electron. Oh man. I hope there's a thingy thing in here. Oh yeah, there is. See it right there. Sweet. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go Digivolve some fools. Oh no. Let's speed up some more Tentomon first. I don't know what noise Mom Black is making there.
Oh wow, was it really important? You point out that he was wearing on black. Was that really important to the comment there? Was that really important?
What are you? What are you trying to get out of here? I'm not being racist. Digimon's just racist on its own. Doesn't need my help.
I feel that I found so many. Like, okay, let's look at this. For Digimon Frontier episode 47, I found 13 things to react to on social media. 48, so I went from 13, then 48 was 6, 49 is 2. 2.
Isn't that the final No.
No, there's one more. Because it's like mostly fight, and then the stuff that isn't fighting that's like worth commenting on is like how naked everyone is, and I'm like,
naked children.
And so there's some interesting stuff there to talk about, like maybe like different, like how it's censored in the English version, but like,
Nah. Nah. I just think that sometimes you feel it and sometimes you don't, Jeffrey.
What?
Sometimes you're like, I really got the jokes here.
But this would be right after each other, like. I think it just wasn't.
Is this Leomon? I want a Leomon. Let's go. Leomon! Yeah. No. I hate this game. I can't keep Leomon unless I move people. Ugh. All these decisions. So hard. But Leomon though. Okay, who can get Pokemon? Why does this game do this to me? Alright, no, it's regular Garurumon. Regular Garurumon, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Oh yes. I can take Hitmon. Why not? I bet you that whoever I put in here probably has Garurumon. What item do you have? No! Come on, Garurumon. I'm back for you, Garurumon. Give me a little second.
Say a little second? What?
Yeah.
What's a big second?
Big second is it's just a minute. You shut up, Jeffrey. Get out of here, Garurumon. Oh. Ah. Don't Digivolve. Just give me. I have so many good Digimon I can't take with me. It's a cool game. It's so cool. Sure. Digimon. What? I love all the virus types. It's my weakness. Ah! Ah, right. Ah! This is me. Why is this happening to me? Cool. Beans. Come on. Come on, you're not getting the Lucimon any faster this way. Let's go. Get back to Pokemon. Can't remember. Why is it so hard for me to remember the requirements for Lucimon? 80 speed.
That's not speed. Oh my god.
It's not?
Are you playing this game?
Speed.
Are you playing the game?
You shut up, okay? Nobody asked you for your opinion on anything, okay? SP needs to be, what was it? 80? And intelligence 130. Where the heck did we go? Okay, right on top of each other. Oh boy. Oh boy.
No, what was intelligence?
I think it has to be 130. Can I even reach that naturally? Train? Oh no.
Learn how to train.
What?
Yeah, that's the train. It's not that hard if you train.
Oh, Jeffrey. Come on, hold items. Ah! I hate this interface. I have anger issues recently. Forgive me. Okay. Okay. Any of you come along? No. Cool. Good stuff. Which of you should come along? Oh, go to Mon. Kudamon? Take Kudamon with you? Career choices. Pokemon, let's go. Pokemon. What? I'll confuse myself. Is this my better Pokemon? Yes. Okay. Well, I don't remember what personality is intelligence. Maybe it's obvious. Cedarmon, cares about you. Command, train. That one. Stingmon lively, that's definitely not it. Brainy, that sounds right. No, that's not what I meant to do. How do I make you move
Oh my god. It's painful to watch.
How do I do
The change leader command that's right there.
Oh. No! You have to go to a different interface. You see how
Oh my
confusing
god,
this is?
it's really not.
It is.
I mean, it is in general, but the point where you're like, but how do I, like, there is no way, like,
I
at
was
the
not
point.
looking at that menu. I mean, there are other jillions of menus that are happening. Also, Kiwimon did not eat my food. What a brat. That's all I have to say about that. Okay. I think we've straightened that all out now. We can, what am I supposed to be doing? Eh, whatever. Ah! Copy and paste. Sounds fine. Sounds like a basic computer function. I guess we just go copy this thing. I really hated this function because it never really makes it clear if you copied. That's okay. Aw, look at the little Lopmon and the Terriermon. Oh, they've come to get messed up by me. That's nice. Bye. that ferocious roar from Greymon. Black. A blue. Blue!
You know where our hard drives are?
Where the hard drives normally are? I don't know.
I thought I had left one of them out here.
I might have moved it back because I'm sick of your nonsense.
Ooh.
Paste. I was like, really? It's not gonna work? What else could I possibly do? Let's go to the door. Oh, yes. I make fun of Jeffrey for being tired, but I'm tired too. That's because I woke up to do a podcast. And I only got 6 hours of sleep. Jeff's like, lol, only 6 hours, lol, 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 lol.
Yeah, I'm working on 2 hours of sleep.
It's because you're a fool.
Are you not thinking through the repercussions of that?
What?
2 hours of sleep?
Did you actually only get 2 hours of sleep?
When would I have had to go to sleep to get 2 hours of sleep, Ashley?
What? You did go to sleep. You were... What?
Oh my god, I was making a joke saying 2 hours of sleep, so I thought you'd be like, wait, you went to sleep at 12 p.m.? And then you're like, wait, that doesn't make sense because I was awake for all that time. Oh, you just... okay.
But I don't trust you so much that, like, you told me you get 2 hours of sleep and be like, yeah, I believe you. Why are you saying this to me?
You're just like, that's in the norm. No.
Yeah. So excited to go to sleep early tonight.
Yeah,
that's
super exciting.
It's very exciting. I don't know whether I should go to my hockey game this week or a work event that is happening at the same time.
Ooh, copying 34 gigs of podcast files.
34 gigabytes of podcast files?
Yeah. To make room for stuff.
Oh, you're moving it from your computer to the hard drive. Oh my god, a creepy underground tunnel! I'm so excited.
I don't remember this tunnel being... I was like, I don't remember this tunnel being revealed so early on in the game, but I think it's like you explore it now and then later it becomes important.
Yeah, I think you don't go to where you think it.
I think you go a little bit in the tunnel, then later you follow to the end.
Maybe. Oh gosh, do I have to play meter? I don't think I'm ready for that. Dragon chains.
Sometimes when Kyoko talks, it's just like, I don't believe you. You're wrong. There's no way that's true.
Is it not true? Is this not a thing? I always forget.
No, I remember I looked into it when we covered... Why did I look into this? I looked into it when we covered... When we started covering Digimon Frontier and the train lines. And I wondered if there was anything special about Shibuya? No. Shinjuku, were they? Wait, now I'm forgetting. Which one do they use in Frontier? Oh, I can't remember which one they... Shibuya? No.
Yeah, it was Shibuya. Because it's Shibuya, don't you remember?
Well, no, but they go through a couple of different stations, so it could have believed you said they'd go through it. Right, it's Shibuya because, like...
They get off at Shibuya.
It's Shibuya because I remember being confused because Shinjuku is more of the central hub. That would make more sense, I thought, for him to be going through. For it to be that, like, hub of all the different Shonen. But... Yeah, and in this game, they talk about Shibuya being the, like, center of the ley lines or whatever. So I was like, oh, maybe that's why in Frontier the trains go through there. It's like, no, that's not. That's not. The ley line thing is not a thing. Because and looking into that, I thought like ley line is a concept that like I forget the exact history. I think it's like was initially proposed as like just a geographical meaning, like a more of a sociology kind of meaning. That like it was the lines of travel that connected civilizations and stuff.
Okay.
And it was just like how culture was communicated. And then someone like I think like in the past 100 years, some like English scholar, like a scholar in England, decided to like take that traditional cultural sociology meaning and like apply mysticism to it in East Asian cultures. So I don't know. And I guess apparently it's spread enough that like it enters the consciousness of, Japanese people themselves, not just imposed by this British scholar. But anyway, looking into whether like Tokyo is rumored to have ley lines, like I couldn't find like anything about it except for this game, which it seems like it'd be such a common concept. But...
No, Kyoko just likes to talk to me about weird things. Guess that was not the correct way. Opposite of E.
Opposite of E?
Yeah.
Why do we?
Sure. Not Roppongi! Tokyo's ley lines, sent from Mount Fuji. Duh.
I don't think I actually ranted to you last night about how SNES Classic pre-orders went up.
You did briefly.
I'm so pissed.
Because you showed me the tweet where you were like, "But this can't be true. I had a hit out on this."
No, because it was the tweet was from the English dub voice actor of Bakugo, saying like every time I get into Bakugo's personality, I'm gonna think about how angry I am at this.
Yeah.
Like, that's perfect. But I'm so pissed because I had several different. I had like one main.
How did it fail?
Okay, so I had one Twitter account that reports on like every bit of Nintendo news, and like when SNES Classic first was announced, it like would tweet when when it was announced. There were pre-orders in other countries, I think in UK and Australia, and it tweeted about those.
Yeah. It
did not tweet about this. Apparently, this was just at Walmart though. It was like just one store putting it up, and they did not tweet about it. And the other systems I had in place were specific alerts at stores through email and nowinstock.net or something. I forget what the site is exactly called, but it's like a site that specializes in alerting you when things are in stock again. And I had that email totally set up. It was sent to me. Google inbox did not give me a notification about it. So it was buried. It was just buried into my email, and I'm like, ah. And I was kind of behind on emails, so I hadn't checked my email in like a day.
It's like getting a SNES.
It's like even if I wasn't behind on email, like I was regularly checking it, like it could still be hours between getting that and actually noticing. And I tried to dig through. It doesn't seem like inbox there's a way to just be like, no, this account is important. Stop classifying as not important. So what I did set up this time is now I made that account that emails a VIP in the built-in iOS mail email app. So I should get a notification through that whenever anything else gets sent again. And I'm still kind of optimistic because it was just Walmart. There should be other stores putting up pre-orders at some point.
Why is Nintendo bad at this?
I think there's no reason for them to be better at it. No, I mean it is not meant. I don't think it's meant to be a mass market thing that everyone buy. I think it would almost. I suspect that their strategy is that they don't kind of want to be bogged down by being the company that makes the SNES Classic. They want to be the Switch company, and SNES Classic is a side thing that they don't want to be distracted by, and
So they should make it.
But I mean, with it being so hyped up and so hard to get, it creates its own buzz. I feel like it's hard to say that's wrong. It seems to be effective, and it seems to create so much more talk. And then if people are frustrated, I actually don't know what the situation is with the virtual console on the Switch. I forget if it doesn't. It's not there now, but I forget if they said if it's not coming or if it is coming. So it does seem to be a faulty strategy to like. I think it would be a perfect strategy if there was a virtual console where you could buy those games for whatever current Nintendo system. You know what I mean? And that the SNES Classic was like, because I can understand if you're like frustrated you can't pre-order SNES Classic and you're like, oh, but I can get them on the virtual console. But that doesn't. So that part is totally a guffaw. And yeah.
I don't know. Actually, I'm unclear on why you want it now. Didn't they do a run of this? What was the other one?
That was the NES.
Yes. Why are you invested in the SNES?
Because it has better games?
Did you ever play any of them though?
Yes.
SNES?
No. Oh my god, I'm committing to piracy. Yeah, like in elementary or in middle school, yeah, there were SNES emulators. I played Final Fantasy 6, Chrono Trigger. Well, Chrono Trigger's not in this. A bunch of them are also remade for other systems, but Final Fantasy 6. I can't remember the others. The SNES had a bunch of great games. Like I feel like the NES games age fairly poorly, but the SNES hit a critical threshold where it's like, no, they still actually hold up well as retro games. Maybe it's just because retro games try to ape the style of that SNES era, not the NES era, so the SNES era has stayed relevant. It still feels like it's kind of fresh retro, whereas the NES feels like, oh my god, you played games like this?
Yeah, whatever. You haven't played A Link to the Past, so you don't get to talk. I'm a big Zelda fan. Hasn't played the.
I have played A Link to the Past, actually.
No, what?
Yes, I did. I did not like it. Yes, I did. You only remember the time when I tried to play and couldn't get past the boss, and then don't remember that I did then later finish it.
What? I really don't remember that.
Because the 3DS game came out, the sequel, so I played the first game in preparation to play that. And I was like, this game is not good. The sequel is amazing. The sequel is like everything the first game not...
What was the sequel called?
Oh my god, A Link Between Worlds. You were the one who was like, oh my god, I love Link to the Past, but I'm not going to play the sequel. Because I'm stupid.
Told you that one's bad.
No, it's not. No, they didn't tell you that. It was amazing. Everyone loved it.
They literally said it at work on like Friday.
Okay, they're stupid people. They're bad people. They should be fired. It was great. And like playing Link to the Past, I was like, this game did not age well. This game is not good. And I've played, like, I like plenty of 2D Zelda games. I was like, this game is so much worse than the other 2D Zelda games. Not so much worse, just like, did not really understand the appeal.
Cool.
I forget my exact thoughts, but A Link Between Worlds was amazing.
Rank your favorite Zelda games. Go.
Hold on, I'm looking up. Yeah, maybe I tweeted about it. I found a tweet from November 2013 saying, why is A Link to the Past amazing? Nostalgia factor aside, no one replied.
You weren't cool in 2013.
Yeah, I only had like 2 followers. No, I had like low hundreds. Can't look this up. But yeah, I thought I had tweeted more of like why I don't like it.
Well, you didn't.
I made a snarky comment about the Majora's Mask 3DS remake. Apparently that comes up. So number one Zelda game is Majora's Mask. Actually, I don't know. That's what I would have. But now I'm like, Breath of the Wild is the best game ever made in the history of games. So I guess that means that should be number one. Technically. And then after that, probably Link Between Worlds, and I'm not sure how to rank the rest. Because there are things like Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, I love, but it's been so long since I played them, and I was in such a different headspace then that I'm sure I'll have very different impressions now. It's more that I don't trust whatever 15-year-old Jeff.
You don't trust 15-year-old Jeff, that's fair.
Anyway, so the controversy I was talking. So in Majora's Mask, looking back, I'm like, why did I? This doesn't matter. But the original Majora's Mask, you could not. Is this what the controversy was? Yeah, it was that you couldn't save mid. You couldn't like stop playing mid time cycle. Remember the premise from Majora's Mask? Right? It's a 3-day,
Yeah.
and it's like if you wanted to stop playing, you had to reset time to the beginning. You couldn't. Wait, I'm lying. If you wanted to stop playing, you could totally stop. You could totally go to a statue and like what you had to do is turn off the game. You couldn't save it as a checkpoint. Like if you saved, you would quit the game. Then if you open the game, it deletes the save file. So it's like if you need to stop playing, you could stop playing, but you couldn't like before going to fight a boss, you couldn't save to make sure you fight the boss goes okay. You had to, you know, if you die and the boss had to start the whole thing over or whatever. It's not true because like actually I don't think I ever really died in Majora's Mask.
What? This story's getting more and more absurd. Get your shit together.
No. I mean, like, there are some Zelda games where it's like dying is like a regular occurrence, but Majora's Mask, I think, is like on some levels easy enough that it's not that hard to avoid dying. I think it actually worked really well for me as a kid when I played it because I was so terrified of dying.
Okay.
I think because it never actually happened to me. Whereas like in Breath of the Wild, like you die all the, especially early on, like where I am later in the game, I don't really die too much. I haven't died in a while, but like early on, it's like you throw a bomb incorrectly and you die. Like you die so often that it's like you lose the fear of it and you just learn to experiment and stuff. But
does you dying matter in Breath of the Wild?
Not really. I don't think there's like any real consequence to it. Right. Whereas Majora's Mask, it's like I feel like it really works for Majora's Mask for dying to be rare there because it's like it instilled so much fear in me, and the game is like kind of has a lot of themes about fear, or one, like, fear is a central theme to it. And if as a kid I was like, oh, there are no consequences to dying, and I don't think in that game there were really consequences. I guess maybe you had to start the time cycle over again, so I guess that is actually a big consequence. I'm not sure actually. I don't know what happens.
Well, you don't know if you
I
never
don't know what
die,
happens.
do you?
I don't know what happens.
I think we have to go play it just so you can find out.
I suspect you don't start the time cycle over again. I expect you just like start at the beginning of the dungeon or whatever.
What happens in Majora's Mask when you die? It's your second favorite game.
Yeah, so Dizzy and Lost in the Chat said the top 3 is Breath of the Wild, Majora's Mask, and Wind Waker. I would probably when I end up replaying Wind Waker and Twilight Princess put Wind Waker in that position.
Do you have a in the way that you want to play Kingdom Hearts and have a blog or whatever, do you desire to play all Zelda games again?
No, because I think what is critically different. Like Zelda is not about the story. You know, like if it's about anything, it's about the gameplay, and like the story is a secondary thing. And like I don't want to analyze the gameplay. There's a really good YouTube series people should check out if they're interested. Now I'm totally blanking on the name, so I'll try and look it up. I think the series is called Boss Keys. Yeah, it's a game-by-game analysis of the dungeon design in Legend of Zelda. And so he like basically went through and replayed Zelda games and like mapped out the dungeons to see how they what kind of strategy the dungeons use, and found some really interesting results that like some games like Wind Waker, everyone loves Wind Waker, but the dungeon design in the game is much more handholdy. Like almost all the dungeons are very linear, and they make you feel like it's not linear by like looping you back around to places you've already been, but it's always in like a very like a linear, not always, but most of them are like in a very linear fashion. Whereas, I'm trying to remember other dungeons movie. But some of the other ones that he praised more are ones where it's like you have more freedom of choice. But the thing is, it is totally subjective, right? Like I think as an experience, I think it's totally fair to enjoy those linear ones more because it gives you a bigger spectacle. It might be a funner ride, even if you yourself haven't even if you're more like along for the ride than you are solving a complex puzzle. And if it makes you feel like
I was bad at solving complex puzzles.
I think also like if it makes you feel like you've solved a complex puzzle when you actually haven't, then that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Like it's tricked you in a good way. A game should trick you. So I don't know. I've kind of forgotten some of the results of the series. But anyway, so that's like the kind of project that I think is most benefited by going back and replaying the Zelda games, and that's the kind of thing I'm interested in. Like, and also I don't think there's anything that meaningful to glean from Zelda's stories. I mean, there is. That's not the kind of thing I'm interested in. They're interesting. Like, I remember reading essays long ago about how the lack of fast travel in Wind Waker puts you into the world, and there's plenty of like writing analysis to be done in it, but it's not like what I find so interesting about Kingdom Hearts is how, I mean, first of all, people find it so complex when, so I think it's ripe for summary and recap, and also that it's like so heavily dripping in metaphors and symbolism that, like, I don't know. On the one hand, it's like so heavy-handed that it's like kind of like, well, you either see it or you don't. Is it really worth pointing it out if you don't see it? But
Dizzy wants to know if you've seen the new trailer.
oh yeah, I forget exactly what the big takeaways from it were. I guess everyone's everyone's excited about Toy Story World.
I did hear about that.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel yet.
When is it supposed to come out?
2030.
Cool.
They revealed, they quote unquote revealed the release date, which is 2018. So that's not a release date. That's
a general range of possible time.
But anyway, I guess what I was saying about Majora's Mask, the tweet that I found was in Majora's Mask 3D, they made it possible for you to save at any point, and not a temporary, I forget what it's called, but those temporary gets deleted when you reopen the game saves, but an actual like full save at any point. And I guess that was a little bit controversial, and I guess I was also like, that removes some of the appeal of Majora's Mask. So I tweeted, I can't wait for a Link to the Past 3D where the light world / dark world mechanic will be removed in favor of a streamlined single world. And I guess I was annoyed about Majora's Mask 3D. There might have been a different aspect of the Majora's Mask remake that I didn't like. I'm trying to remember what else was changed. They like increased this. They actually made it a little bit harder in the original game. Time moves at like 1 minute per second, and then if you slow down time, gets divided by a third. So every out of game second is instead a third of a minute. So every 3 seconds is a minute. Anyway, so it makes it, you get 3 times as much time to go through the world or whatever before the moon falls. And in the remake, they changed that so when you slow down time, I think it's only like 1.5 times instead of 3x. And like, that's a huge, that actually makes it decently harder. Might be 2 instead of 1.5. Anyway. And what else did they change? I thought there was a bigger thing that was like, how dare they do that?
How dare they?
I mean, there was like a dungeon that they made a lot of, like there's a mask that's basically like hard to find, and then you need to use it in a very specific room, and there's no clues that you're supposed to use it in that room, and I only know because I had a strategy guide at the time that told me to do that.
I mean, my problem with other games is I never know what to do.
But they streamlined it so it's like, you get the mask in the dungeon, in the boss dungeon room, and you use it in that room, and it's like, yeah. They changed, I remember being annoyed they changed the clock design. So that was before the game came out, I was like worried about that. They changed saving, they changed... Link was given additional textures and animations.
Cool.
Majora's Mask is so good. Oh, that's what, okay, that was the major change I didn't like. So in Majora's Mask, there are 2 songs that you control time. You either can triple the amount of time you have, like slow down time by 3, or 1 by 5, depending on the version. And there's one that lets you skip ahead to a specific point. Like, what it used to do was, it would just bring you, you would play the song a double time, it would bring you to the next, like, 12-hour thing. Wait, no. Right, so like, if it was daytime, playing it would bring you to 6 p.m. at night. If it was nighttime, it would bring you to 6 a.m. in the morning. And that's all it would do. So like, if you wanted to go ahead to like the middle of the 3rd day, you have to play it several times. and you also didn't have any like you couldn't choose any time in between, and they changed it so that it lets you choose the specific hour of the day. So it's like if you want to go to this event at 3 o'clock, you can change. You can skip to 2 p.m. and wait only a minute instead of skipping to 6 a.m. and waiting the whole several minutes. And looking back on this, I think it's kind of genuine, kind of makes sense to be frustrated about, because it's like part of what made the world of Majora's Mask so appealing was sitting in that world and waiting for things, and like observing people and feeling like it felt lived in because you actually were forced to live in it. And instead of being like, oh, skip ahead to exactly the hour you want, it's like, okay.
Cool. I'm gonna fight an eater. It's gonna be great.
And in regards to Kingdom Hearts and Toy Story, Dizzy and Lost in the chat said that they read somewhere that Sora being in Toy Story takes place after Toy Story 2, and that Kingdom Hearts is canon in Toy Story universe, which is wild. Yeah, I read that too. I can't remember what the source was, but they were insisting that it is canon to the Toy Story universe, and it's between Toy Story 2 and 3, and it's like, what? Which, I mean, I hope the full extent of that is that, like, Sora is a toy that, like Andy had an anime phase, and, like, lots of anime toys.
You see what's going on right here?
What? I don't get it.
They've just replied with the same thing. I already replied to that.
Oh, I see.
What is this nonsense? Ugh, Digimon. What's over here? Nothing.
Ooh, in Majora's Mask 3D, they added this new remake. While riding the Epona, if the circle pad is pulled, the Epona will neigh and do a 180-degree turn, depending on the angle the circle pad is held at. Doing so will also give Epona a speed boost in that direction. That totally ruins the game.
Wow.
You couldn't turn around Epona in the original game. Epona is such a small part of Majora's Mask. It's basically like there's one part you need to jump over a gate, and you need to like. It's more of like blocking when you can explore the world, and when you can get Epona and stuff. There's not really much to. It's more because the Goron mask lets you roll around, and that's so much more fun than riding Epona. So.
Fighting this eater was really, really scary.
Yeah, I mean, you're cheating with Gatomon.
I was cheating with no, I cheated with Stingmon. Stingmon has the defense penetrating attack.
Oh. Not Gatomon?
Gatomon has a fixed damage attack.
Once
so I cheated with both of them, basically.
Once you get Lucemon will just clobber everyone.
It's gonna take forever, Rigo. Come on. I don't understand how I was so bad at playing this game the first time that I did not realize all you need to do to fight an eater is have any Digimon with a defense penetrating attack.
I think the thing is that's so broken that like it's totally not obvious. Like you wouldn't expect like, wait, is there really that easy of a solution? Like,
because yeah, if you do those battles without that, they're like so hard. Because it heals itself all the time and...
I found a good tweet for myself 2 years ago.
Oh yeah?
I wonder if Link and Zelda choose to adopt kids to prevent future ancestral incest. It's true though. Like...
Wait, what?
Because every if like every Link is a descendant of a past Link, and every Zelda is a descendant of a past Zelda, and they keep getting married and having kids, like...
Is that a thing? What game establishes that?
I mean, I think it's implied. I don't know if it's ever said as obviously.
That they're all supposed to be some sort of linear different links.
Yeah.
Really?
What? Are you being serious now?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Ashley.
Ashley. I mean, are you is this the first time you've ever heard about the existence of Zelda timelines? Are you serious?
No, it's not.
So if there are timelines...
But I don't take those timelines seriously,
Hold on a second.
Are we done?
No, I need to lay down. I need to...
Are you breaking up with me?
I need to get a plane ticket.
You get a plane ticket?
Yeah, I have to leave.
Okay. I don't want to stay in this apartment. I don't have enough money for that. We're talking about ley lines again, Jeffrey.
I've already left.
Which one? I think it's in the computer.
Oh.
Yeah. Watch out, there's probably a silverfish in there. Seriously? I mean, one came out last time I opened it. No, it was the one that I took like everything out of it though. Our apartment has a bit of a silverfish problem. It's not that bad. For a while there, it was getting out of control. Now it seems somewhat in control. Jeff has not yet found the silverfish on his book, so...
I haven't screamed yet.
He hasn't screamed yet. When I was rearranging that apartment and I took everything out of there, and then I put everything on the bed, and then there was a silverfish on it, and I was like, now there's a silverfish in my bed, and that's disgusting. And if you don't know what silverfish is, look up and be terrified.
I'm actually on my way around this book because I kind of a shameful secret, but I didn't actually read it. I was like, oh my god, there's so much! I'm so excited to read it! Oh my god! Like I was gonna get it in Japanese. I was gonna get it in Japanese before it came out in English.
Oh yeah.
And then there's so much stuff to read. There's so much to read. So here we go. Here's the history of Hyrule, a chronology in the official book, and here is the official timeline.
There's an official timeline.
Yes,
well,
and
it's garbage.
What is more garbage is they've kind of like revised it since and like changed things.
Well, see, it's not official now, is it? It was all just nonsense.
A little bit. It's a little bit fair.
Oh my god, Sleuth, back up. Dizzy says Jeff is literally Pokemon right now.
It's true.
It is true. He also wants us to burn our apartment because there are silverfish in it. It's not that bad.
Oh, Dizzy said that. I was like, I don't want that.
It's not that bad. It's I should maybe pester our building manager to exterminate. He was supposed to have that happen and did not, so I can complain to him. What calorie level am I supposed to do? 3. I wasn't paying attention. It will become obvious. Yeah. Should I change it up? I kind of like Stingmon though. Why wasn't I using him before? Who did I replace him with? I don't remember. I'll allow it. I'll give everybody some items. Everybody needs items. Sure, poison dagger, why not? Hate the system. Damn, I don't have a lot of items. I'm just bad at this. Maybe. See how easily I get confused about my Digimon team? I'm like, yeah, I want Quillamon. Gotta be training the Aquillamon. Aquillamon! You know I can't pronounce words. Boo, let's talk to this black Agumon.
Did you really need to call out how he's black, Ashley?
Alright, you know what? I won't just distinguish. They're all Agumons to me. I don't see
Oh,
color.
so now you're erasing his identity.
Yeah. See, which way do you want it here?
I wish they chose less racist names for...
Shadow Agumon, should I go with that? Haloon level 3 has so many areas. I don't remember where the precious items are more likely to manifest. That's weird. Oh, I gotta practice my violin after this. You see that I finally found the correct, piano version sheet music of Eternity's Memory of Light Waves, so I have to convert it to something playable on the violin. Also, it's so impossibly high! Oh god. It's gonna be great.
Okay. No, I did not.
I was having a real struggle fest. I think there are actually moments where it goes below the low G in the song, so I'm like, oh god, what do I do for that? Can't play that on a violin. Figure it out. I guess I gotta get an electric violin with a 6th string, and then I could. Problem solved. I tried to motivate Jeff to play his keyboard more by buying him a Final Fantasy piano book, but I have not seen him play his keyboard since then.
No time.
I don't have time for that. I told my mom the other day that I bought a case for my violin that was $320, and she's like, why did you buy an expensive case? I was like, there are cases that are like $1,000. She's like, wait, the cases are $1,000? I'm like, yeah. I went with one that I thought was a good ratio of expensive to super protective. And my mom made fun of me. That's fine. I mean, apparently my violin teacher back in the day, I told her to just buy me an $80 bow, and my mom was like, I'm not gonna buy her a crappy bow. And then apparently the one that I wanted was $700, and she's like, I'm not buying you a $700 bow either.
I think my bow was like $20. Is that possible?
Yeah, but it's...
I think my violin was like $100 and my bow was 20 or something.
Not. Sounds legit. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, well, I guess this will work out in the end. I'll pay attention to who's attacking. Cat is laying on me, and he is making me very hot. He is full of fur. He needs to stop that. Where is the precious thing? What are the precious things that these Digimon are dropping? Like, I really...
Oh, they don't actually tell you when you give it to them? Whatever?
I don't think so. They just call it their precious thing.
That's creepy.
Exactly.
Maybe one of those phrases that is more less weird to say in Japanese.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Stingmon. How's our social medias going?
Sorry. Try to look up if Daijin Mono is common enough to be in Jishiro or sentence examples, and it's not that common. And also, I'm just guessing the phrase that he's using. Very possibly using a totally different phrase.
Would you like to go on a Nier Armada brand?
Yeah, Nier Armada. totally a game that exists.
I don't know what it's called.
No, I don't. It's really good. I haven't really like. I had more to complain about. Like I had more to talk about the original mirror because it was like, here are the reasons I find it wrong, or not wrong. Here are the reasons that I find it extremely lacking. I think I have less to say about Automata when it's like, yeah, it's really good. I haven't finished either, so I'm like.
Well, that's because you want to get how many endings are there? All 47.
There's an easy number reference. There's one for each letter of the alphabet.
26?
Yeah.
I really thought it was 40 something.
I don't think so. I think it's one for each letter of the alphabet.
How many have you gotten?
Very few. I think usually like...
They're a trophy for getting all.
Probably. I think there is like 4 real full like routes with their own endings. And then like 20 plus ones that are just like fail in the specific way in the specific instance, and you get an ending about it.
Huh?
Like the one that I showed you of like if you just walk off during that first mission.
Yeah.
And so it's like what it probably means is like I'll finish. Like I think I'm in the. I can't tell if I'm like in extra content in the second ending route or if it's like is the third route. Because I basically like finished the second round, and then it was like, and there's extra stuff after. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I died doing that. I was like, I need to restart this because it reset me a bunch. But yeah, no, the other endings aren't like full. It's really just like while you're playing, be sure to save and then do this specific thing, and you get credits. Like it scrolls through the credits really fast.
So okay. You don't just get credits when you die at any point?
No. No, it is kind of weird that it's like when you normally die, it's like, oh, you reset. And it's like part of the game's narrative in some sense because like your body stays behind and then you have to get when you respawn, you don't have your equipment and you need to get your equipment off your dead body. Like it is like in the game's canonical narrative, I guess, that your body has been re-uploaded. Like your body has died and your memories are re-uploaded to another body.
I see. Interesting.
I
was gonna ask you about Splatoon, but you didn't end up playing it.
I played a little bit.
Was it better than Splatoon 1?
I was really sleepy when I was playing it, so I didn't fully appreciate it, but like I was trying to do the story. But I mean, first of all, I found out that yeah, there's no local multiplayer, which is like okay, that's bullshit. I mean, I was excited to get it because I was like, cool, we're going like we can go to Montreal in a week and a half, whatever. Like, well, maybe a game we can play 3-player. No, that's not a thing. You can't.
You can't play multiplayer at all. Still, you can't.
There is local multiplayer technically. What they mean by local multiplayer is like if you have other people with Switches and the game, and you can like.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Which is, I mean, that is supposed to be like a strong component of the Switch playstyle. That like, but like Mario Kart does that is much more flexible in that like if you have 2 people with 2 Switches, or if you have 2 Switches, you can have like 2 people on each screen or something, or like probably 4 on each screen. I don't know. Whereas Splatoon is like, nope, you need to each have your own screen. I mean, the thing is, when you're in Portal mode like that, like I saw people at work a couple weeks ago, like playing like 2 Switches, playing Mario Kart, like multiple people on each screen. It was like, if you're using the screen with multiple people, it's like so small. It doesn't really. It's like a small iPad screen. Like it's too small to really split up. But if you're plugged into a TV, you could totally. It's frustrating. Silly.
I mean, I'm afraid. Does Johnny G have a TV?
I assume so. I consider asking. I was like, I assume so. But also, I mean, you can play a Switch without TV, so.
I know you can. Okay, seriously, where is this precious thing? I have not seen it.
Mm-hmm. The answer. It was our friends all along.
Silly poopy pants here. What am I doing?
Right?
Am I being silly here? This cat needs to get off me. You're so hot, cat. How do you exist? How do you live? without dying in your own furry little heat ball.
Hey, don't be that hot.
I think sometimes he might be. He tried to sleep under the blanket when it was like actually really hot outside once, and I had to drag it back out. Be like, why do you want to die? Why do you want to die, cat? What have I ever done to you? What have I ever done to you? Don't answer that, cat. I know what I've done to you.
Okay.
It's okay, he still loves me. Oh man, I cannot find this thing. This mission is not even real, like what? Go sleep on your box, cat.
Don tsunagete?
I'm just gonna manipulate him now. He's like, yeah, I accept you unfolding my paw. Digimon.
Stealing the cat.
Oh, good. I'm way too hot for him.
She didn't even want you. She don't even want
Wait, I
you.
want you. He's like, I'm too
Watashi no Daijobi? Daijobi? Is that what she...
Ooh?
I mean, that's the word, but I thought she said Daijobi.
I don't think so.
You're a cat, baby.
I bet this... Where could this be? Am I blind?
I mean...
Probably like at the beginning.
Why are you even doing these missions? Like, you only have them because you spawned them.
Yeah.
They're not worthwhile. They're frustrating.
Doing them once in a while is okay.
Why?
The experience.
They're stupid. It isn't fun.
You know what, Jeffrey? This is why you didn't succeed at your little grand challenges.
This is not why.
Why did you fail?
Because I need to raise the levels. I was like, okay, I have such strong Digimon, I don't need to be concerned with levels. Like, they'll probably be fine whatever levels they're at. That was silly. I lost the cat.
He doesn't like you.
He ran away from me.
I need to find the precious thing!
Let's just read the Hyrule Historia. I thought there's like a... I think there's like a newer book that came out that is, First English edition, January 2013?
Jeffrey.
I remember this like being a... Like, I thought it was semi-recently that I was like considering buying... So that was...
I'm watching Wergurumon glitching out here. Glitching out!
I guess I had forgotten that like we had been to Kinokuniya and stuff like way before I was really studying Japanese again. Because I didn't start
We
studying...
went to Japantown way more often before you... I went to Japantown way more often before you went.
Really? I don't think we went that often.
I hardly ever go there now, though.
I mean, yeah, I think a bunch of like I kind of had like my desire to go on weekends went down when I would go there weekly. But now I haven't been going weekly because of class being canceled.
Oh yeah, when is that supposed to...
And they initially said it would be like the fall quarter come back again.
You don't seem confident in that.
I mean, I'm just thinking about the like, you know, like the breakfast place across the street from my office I went to with Johnny G when he was here.
Yeah.
That like closed for a couple months of renovation last year. Still isn't open again.
Uh-oh.
That concerns me. On the other hand, I did lose like 20 pounds once they closed, so it may be because of them closing. They had really unhealthy food that tasted really, really good.
Oh, I didn't realize that could be part of it.
I mean, according to the diet I started, I wouldn't have been able to go anyway. So, but I mean, the thing is, like the breakfast stuff I had that I really loved had hash browns, and I'm sure I went now I could find breakfast stuff that didn't have hash browns.
It's the hash browns that killed me.
They were so good though. Well, I mean, the hash browns weren't the best hash browns or anything, but like they had lots of dishes that like, you know, were hash browns. But like, I feel like it's so hard to, like, they had things that were like hash brown scrambles with a bunch of other stuff, but like were primarily hash browns. That I feel like most brunch places around here maybe have like one dish that is primarily hash browns, and it's like super expensive and like has nothing on it. It's just like cheese, a little bit of cheese. I don't know. This book is so good.
Is it?
Yeah, I should look up what the new one is.
I do remember that new one. Probably not even that new anymore.
It's probably like 2014.
Farm expansion plugin. Give it to me, Rhoda.
Oh, I guess it's the like arts and artifacts book or something. Which is like, oh no, there's the no. Okay, that is
like
the same.
red. Oh wait, you can't see color. LOL. What the hell is that about? Trying to send a serious request.
Also, the I can't really say it's not being biased, but the new manga is really cool.
Zelda manga?
Yeah. I don't know if do I actually have any English ones? I don't gotten from work. I guess the ones I gotten from work have just been Japanese ones. I'm so conflicted because I don't know whether I want them in English or Japanese. I should get them both. Never mind. That was important.
I'm gonna destroy you one day.
Oh, I should get packages. I ordered a boom arm.
A boom arm?
A boom arm. For, I don't know, I want to experiment with having it on our table while we record. If there's a way to have it attached to the dining room table in a way that is not super obtrusive. Like if we can basically like swivel it away while we're not recording. Or if it's like, I'm worried like we put it there and it's like, yeah, this is a huge frustrating thing. Then if I only bought one for like $10, a crappy one.
So that later you can buy a more expensive one. Who's calling you?
You know, from Seattle, some spam thing.
Some spam thing. Cool. Gotta get a little shady part-time job here. I'm never gonna know.
Never gonna give you up.
Okay. Blah 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 blah. Ryoda, why can't you do...
Oh, delivery.
Okay. Somebody knocking for this.
I tried calling the doorbell, isn't that?
Yeah, that doesn't do anything. Oh, sorry about that.
Ugh, a dumb building.
That delivery thing must be something the other rooms like. I don't understand how everyone could be wrong. And just make stuff across from me.
I don't think so. But it is annoying. Okay, so we have this thing. You can access most people's apartments by just walking upstairs.
It's like an apartment building of 30 apartments. There are like 4 that you can't access directly.
Right. And so when you approach the building, the main entrance has a like keypad to call rooms. And it's confusing because they recently redid that. It used to be where our mail slots were, and they tore them out and re-put the thing back in there, the keypad back in there. So theoretically, you know, it does something, but I've never seen it work for anybody.
It must be important for those people that don't have direct access.
Maybe it's
like
just
6
for them.
buttons. Yeah. But also, it might be like primarily for them, and still wired for everyone else. But then, for some reason, ours is broken.
I really don't think so.
You shouldn't ask for that. Why would you think not?
Because I've seen other people who have not come there for us try to use it and have no success with it.
Mm.
Jeff ordered some Switch thing.
It's a Joy-Con charging dock. And a charging grip, not an actual dock. Just a thing you put the Joy-Cons into that you can charge it through. And stupid that it's not what it comes with.
Jeff's not bitter. Jeff would never be bitter. I think I will stop playing this game after this mission. If I can even figure out how to end this mission. Guess we'll go to the second floor.
Alright.
Are there other people that will offer him jobs, or is that the only one?
Are you talking to me? What
My
are we talking about?
What?
Huh?
Mission right now is friend dude is like
Okay, so you're talking to the game.
I mean, you could also tell me if you know the answer.
I wasn't reading or watching the game. I was like, what are you talking about? What? Am I totally lost?
Okay, apparently other people will offer him jobs, so I guess I have to get all the possibilities. Oh yeah, look at this guy over here in the corner. He's not shady. You need to wash some stuffed pickle in formaldehyde? Let's go back. Thanks, game. Got my back. Yoda, stop being lazy and find your own job then. Shady. I forget, does Hacker's Memory have a real release date now?
I think it's still just early 2018.
I gotta finish this game before early 2018. Let's go to counter and take ghost pictures. Great. And here, I thought this mission was ending soon. It's rude to go down the escalator the wrong way. Okay. Where am I going? I already forget.
I keep being tempted by Hindenburg Journalist Pro podcast editing software, and then like realizing there's so many things that I do in Logic Pro that are like the appeal of Hindenburg is it is made for podcast and radio editing, so it's like not meant to be. Logic Pro is like a music thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, something that's made specifically for podcasting or spoken word stuff, that'd be great. And then I'm like, oh no, I missed this thing in Logic, and I'm like, oh, I guess I shouldn't be looking for alternatives because like I'm not really held back by Logic at all. There's nothing about Logic that like is actually slows me down. Hindenburg though has a really great noise reduction. I'm considering paying for it just for that, because I struggle to do noise reduction otherwise. Or it's like basically set it and forget it. It's like so smooth.
Oh, these are Ghost Kowloon level 3.
The only thing like Hindenburg is good about, you know, you can actually make chapter marks and add images to them in the editing software. Magic, like, I don't think anything else actually supports that now. Yeah, I think remove that in GarageBand. So tempted. But also, we use Alphonic to do that, and I want to stop using Alphonic to do that.
Oh my god, Jeffrey, just buy it. You have enough money.
Maybe I'm gonna buy it for the noise reduction. It's more like, can I make the process better by using it, or use faster? And then I can scroll. Using it as a primary thing. I think the main reason people don't use something like Logic Pro is that it takes some time to learn, but I feel like I've already learned it all. So maybe, you know what, actually you should use it for Shoujo and Tell. Yeah, and then buying it now for me for Podigious noise reduction. You can also use it for Shoujo and Tell.
Can I become invisible? Can I become a literal ghost and that he could picture me?
Oh right, I forgot the like the weirdness of the white boy.
White boy. See, it's all racist.
Actually excited to watch Game of Thrones tonight?
Oh damn it, I forgot about that.
so excited?
Not really.
Are you any more excited for it now that it's like this is the show is ending?
I'm very trepidatious.
I'm more worried that I'm like, how? There's no way that like all of this, like they could actually wrap up all of this in like a season and a half. No way.
Also, season and a half is still like they're almost done. It's like what? It's still so long. At least Daenerys is finally at the place.
But also, like, people are expecting there to be, like, you know, they're expecting the whole interpersonal, the whole, like, human versus human conflict to be sorted out, and then to also do all the human versus undead conflict. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. Can I really do all that?
So skeptical.
Skeps, tote skeps.
Totes skeps. Alright, I think this is good. It was like 2 hours. We did some missions. Let me go farm plug in my life. And then take a nap and eat a nap. Oh, I have a whole new island? Oh wait, crap, I gotta do this.
Oh my god, new island.
Oh my god, new island, I can be training all these new Digimons. Are you for serious?
I'm really frustrated that Dream Daddy is not on consoles. I mean, it makes sense it's not on consoles. It's relatively small indie game.
The weird game?
What?
What? Dream Daddy? The weird...
You haven't been hearing nonsense about Dream Daddy, Ashley? What's wrong with you? But I wish you could stream that. But getting streams setting up on a PC, which is another good gaming PC. I also don't know how we do that like together. But
I could be streaming Crash Bandicoot. You can watch me die over and over and over again.
I could be streaming Nier Automata, except I play Nier Automata to escape from people, not to be broadcast live.
Get the heck away from me, people! I actually wouldn't mind just like streaming Crash with like nobody able to hear what I'm saying, just like watching me die over and over again. Be pretty funny. All these Digimans that are now gonna get trained. I have a lot of Wormmons apparently. Interesting. So wait. So now I can train these people's command. None of y'all's has any cam, so sure, why not? Actually, some of them might have had cam. IDK, who cares? So wait. And the next game we will go to Shibuya, as Frontier calls it.
There's not call it that. There was a sign in the background.
There's a sign repeatedly in the background.
It's only so shameful because like there are real signs in the real world that spell it correctly. Like I think that comes about because like that if you're typing Japanese and you were to type the way to type Shibuya, you would probably just write SI. Yeah.
Really?
Well, I mean, because it registers that just as easily as SHI. So why type 3 letters instead of 2?
Interesting.
Yeah, they were typing on an English keyboard, I mean, which I think the Japanese keyboards are. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they use. You know, weird thing is that we even like look at any keyboards. In Japan,
Nobody's
in Japan
gonna
3
find
times.
one.
I mean, I went to a manga cafe and I had a computer in that manga cafe. I'm pretty sure it was just a QWERTY
Isn't
keyboard.
it fancy keyboard.
I think it was a QWERTY keyboard. Anyway,
It's no fun.
you were stopping, weren't you?
Yep. I'll save it here and then be even more confused about what I'm supposed to do when I restart this game. Bye.
Bye everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us. Have a good week now. Have a good Thrones. Game your Thrones.
I'm not doing this right. I need to not hold it.